Okay, hi guys, welcome back for the tutorial. Now, before we look into PR applications for digital media, let's look a little at global digital trends. So between 2011 to 2018, this is what we can see. We see that Facebook bought Instagram and WhatsApp in 2014, then the rise of HTML5 somewhere towards the end of 2015, and then organic reach completely disappears from Facebook, and then dynamic ads go into Instagram, and then Southeast Asia digital stats here, and then Facebook introduces their new algorithm. So it's important to keep up to date with digital trends so that as a practitioner, you know how to effectively reach your audiences. Because at the end of the day, we're looking at these tools most commonly used in public relations today. So when we talk about websites, we are looking at the first source of information and the first phase of an organization. Okay, a website is important because when you go and look for a brand, the first thing you want to know is, apart from whether they have a social media account, is do you have a website? Okay, and if you have a website, what information is on the website? So for example, it can be a corporate website. So we went through Nestle. It can be a government agency. So if I'm interested in Mercy Malaysia, which is a non-profit, okay, I do a Google search. I go to the website and I expect to see some information. Who are we? About us. Get involved. What is it all about? And then they can share all sorts of information. So when you go out and work with any company, be it, for example, Grab Food, okay, you need to build a proper website because this is the first interface, the first flush of experience with a customer is through your website. And if they don't find what they want here, you're just going to lose them. Okay. So what we do is we can make the architecture very simple or very, very complex. So websites like EPF, for example, lots of information, completely multiple folders. So I have to open another folder and I go to EPF, like what we did earlier. Okay. All you need to do is go down to here. You find all this is an individual folder on a database. So you have an overview, register contribution, then you have an employer, about EPF, how to reach us, okay, kiosks, offices, mobile team, whistleblowing, anti-fraud, logging into information. Then there's the Malay version as well. Okay, when you go to a government agency, for example, MOHE Malaysia, go to Google. Okay, um, Ministry of Higher Education. Okay, this is how the website looks like. So this is what I mean by complex. Okay, and this is complex. We have all the information here. You have tough time looking for things. So this is quite complex in terms of architecture. It's not very straightforward. Some websites are very simple, to the point. When you guys did Burger Lab Inside Scoop, I think some of the comments was that the website architecture was very simple. Okay, so there are pros and cons to a structure like that. Now, there are also things like blogs, and these can include free or paid forms. They're very inexpensive and easy to maintain, but the problem is you need a lot of content, constant content. One good example, I don't know if it's functional, but let's see whether this works. Okay. This is an example of a blog, an offshoot from Talent Corp, what I used to do last time. So if you can see here, the last article was 4th March. By right, it should be more because otherwise it would just die out. You need more content, otherwise you're not going to have enough to funnel information out. Okay, so we like to, when you have a blog, there's no point in having a blog if it's not up to date. All right. Now, finally, of course, it will be social media. Almost everybody is on social media. It's a form of networking because on social media, you can join groups like in Facebook. You can set up business pages as an extension of your website, your blog. You can use your page to disseminate information, get feedback, And depending on the platform, it can be targeted and very, very specific. So for example, let's open Twitter. We found KWSP Malaysia earlier. Okay, let's see whether we can find them on Facebook. And finally on Instagram. Okay, so KWSP Malaysia, they have used it as their official Twitter. They've shared a customer service link so you can contact them. Any further information pinned here, the latest one. Okay, you want to maintain your deductions at 11%. Okay, let's look for KWSP here. So you have the page, you have the club as well for KWSP staff. So if you go to the Facebook page, you can share pictures of what's going on. So this was when all the sanitization, COVID-19 was happening. You can share videos, you can share a new look for your website. Okay, you shared FAQ on EPF products. This was what happened recently with regards to the above. So everything, they shared images and whatnot, breaking news. And then they can respond to feedback. So let's say here you take Rafiq, for example, has asked, great job and whatnot. So KWSP went and respond to everybody here basically with a one-liner. So you have to be aware that the moment you're on social media, you need to respond. So for example, like this individual, can I really submit the form through online? Okay, and then a few more people ask the same question. So KWSP said, yes, you can, and by so forth, so on. Sometimes you can even send a message. You can click here and you can ask them all sorts of things and they can respond in time. So when we look at things like Instagram, they are also on Instagram. Okay, so this is the official Instagram account. And this is where they share infographics. So they have a trend here on the KWSP. Of lately, if you look carefully, they've been sharing vector images, and this is their style. Very clean, okay, and very informational. So if I were to click on one, for example, okay, sorry, I've closed all KWSP outlets. We appreciate, we hope you understand, that sort of thing. Hashtag, one simple hashtag, that's all. Okay, so what you need to be aware of are also things like other social media platforms. You have Pinterest, you have Google Plus, you have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also very popular for some companies. Now I have here in the next slide best practices and best times to post. Now this was as of 2018, so it would have changed slightly already, and this is US time. So the darker the colors would mean the higher the engagement. And if you notice, for almost all platforms, there is no zero to little activity on Sundays because normal people on Sundays, they just want to chill, don't really do much. But Twitter engagement goes up on Sundays because that's probably what you're doing. It's fast paced. You can just simply share stuff. So I'm going to show you a video later, like with the other videos in the lecture, there'll be a couple of quiz questions. So please answer them, and that would be your attendance for this tutorial session. Thank you.